Hey THLers, we're back again. Two times this Saturday. Saku's operating tonight for Salty Saturday instead of normally Wild 9. But I am joined here by two wonderful casters who've been on the show and on stream quite often. We are going to start with Nice Jewish Owl. How you doing, Nice Jewish Owl? Or NJO for short.
Hello, hello. I'm doing well and excited to watch some good Hearthstone.
Yeah, as long as there's no paladins involved, so it doesn't extend it a little bit, but we're good. And then we have a fellow Canadian. Yeah, Super Chicken. How you doing?
Hey, good, thanks.
Guys, ready to go? I know we got bands going on already. This is going to be wrong flag up there, but we got a Hero Series match. You guys want to go over them real quick, and then we'll get going.
Yeah, sure thing. So for Justin, class-wise, we have Demon Hunter, Druid, Mage, and Rogue, and his Mage ended up getting banned here. And then for Genji, we have Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, and Warrior, and the Rogue ended up being banned.
Yeah, I think bit of a tough spot for Genji. He definitely probably wanted to ban both the Rogue and the Mage from Justin. I think like he was probably worried about Poison Rogue, into Shaman and Warlock specifically. But I mean, the Mage is probably even better into those classes because you can tech in a Viper into Shaman and Warlock, and it helps a lot with the matchup. Whereas, you can you have like Mutinous to deal with Mage a lot of the time, but I would say it's probably not as effective as running a Viper.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm never sure on that one because it with the optimization that Poison Rogue builds have, like a Viper sometimes isn't enough. You know, like you Viper their big weapon and then they just kill you with Guild Trader next turn anyways.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it turns it into like a favorable matchup or anything, or even like I don't even think it brings it up to even. If it's a matchup as bad as like Handlock is into Poison Rogue. But I do think it does probably bring it up more, percentage points than a Mutinous would, because a mage can they can play Primordial Studies or something, or they can hold a multicaster a lot of the time, to at least, not make it 100% for Mutinous to hit. And then, sometimes you can just pop off with Mozaki on 7 anyways, so your opponent doesn't have time to even play Mutinous.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think especially with the Warrior in the lineup, I think I'd rather play against Rogue because Quest Warrior, assuming that's what it is pretty good into Poison Rogue. And there's also
Yeah.
a few Shaman variations that do well because if you can play an early Wild Paw Cavern, you can shut down the Rogue for a lot of the game.
Yeah, I think I'm curious as to what we're gonna see from Genji and his shaman. I think maybe a Bolner OTK shaman might be what we see. It's maybe the best into Poison Rogue. I mean, it's probably similarly effective as a free shaman would, but I think maybe the Bolner shaman's just a bit stronger of a deck in general.
Hmm.
But there's also the Demon Hunter to worry about, right? I think Fell Demon Hunter has gotten a lot better lately. What used to be a pretty bad matchup into Warlock last expansion is actually maybe a bit over 50% now, and it's also really good into Shaman as well.
Yeah, I think Genji's probably going to be riding a lot on this Warrior to help in both those Demon Hunter and Rogue matchups. So depending on this Druid, that could be sort of Justin's counter pick for the Warrior. So I'm interested to see how this goes. I think I'd probably give Justin the slight edge with these classes, but it could be. I could see this being won by either of them.
All right, it looks like the players are going in, so we're gonna have AGT or always just in time at the bottom of your screen, or first to spectate for our casters. At the top is going to be Genji. So
Yeah, so we have looks like a Fel DH from Always Just in Time. I'm just getting into spectating, and it looks like, yeah, it is the Quest Warrior from Genji.
Hmm.
Um, and this is another matchup that used to be a lot worse for Fel Demon Hunter, that has really improved a lot this expansion with the expendable performers Felfire Deadeye combo, along with the Kurtrus hero. I think if I remember correctly, I think it's still a little bit favored for the warrior, but it's definitely very playable for the demon hunter.
Yeah, definitely. It might just be me talking, but I don't think Control Warrior would have been an insane bring here for Genji.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad idea either, right? Um, it's much better into Fell Demon Hunter, and probably I mean it's also probably better into a lot of the druid counters to Quest Warrior, which are like like a beast druid or an aggro druid. So I think it could have been a good bring. It's like you need something to beat the mage, right? So if you bring Control Warrior, you have three decks that are bad into mage.
But he banned
But
Mage.
oh, he did ban the mage. Okay. I get do you know how Control Warrior is into Poison Rogue?
It's kind of rough. I mean, like you have to run double Viper if you want to win it, but it's still very dependent on whether or not you're able to draw Mutinous for the Guild Trader.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I think it would have been maybe a little sus into the Rogue, but it was definitely an idea. Like, um, I think it just depended a lot on what he was most worried about, and it seemed like it seemed like the Rogue was what he was most worried about beating.
yeah, and also I think I'm probably more comfortable bringing Control Warrior than the average player, I would say.
Yeah, and there's no
So
real
that
like
that might be a little bias.
there's no like definitive Control Warrior list, right? It's so much easier to find a good list for Quest Warrior, and I think it's if you want to test out some matchups, you're gonna be spending like an hour to play like 3 games of Control Warrior.
Um,
Yeah, so pretty decent curve here from Genji. He's had the scamp on 2 and throw the freebooter on 3.
yeah, I think if I'm Justin, I feel like I want a hero power and then Chaos Leech here,
Um,
because that lets us set up for Skull on 6, ideally, because we can probably drop Aura next turn.
yeah, I was just wondering if there's a big difference between I-Beam and Chaos Leech, and I don't really think there is.
I think the
Um,
difference is that one of them's blocking Skull and one of them isn't.
yeah, I just meant like uh versus playing one there's this turn versus the other. I feel like there was an argument for playing the I-Beam last turn, so you could MO and Chaos Leech for 5 damage this turn.
Yeah,
But I mean, obviously it doesn't really matter too much here because he's only played one 5 health minion, and the MO pretty much has to come down here.
hmm yeah. I think it's just a question of do we also want to play the I Beam here, because we're always playing Aura, so we can get Skull next turn. And it's like, do we want to use the I Beam to clear here, or do we want to save the I Beam potentially?
Um,
And I'm
Initially in my head I had like we play the MO and the Chaos Leech this turn, Skull next turn, then we have I-Beam Skull the following turn.
yeah, but then we're floating 2 healing with the Chaos Leech. I think I kind of want to just Immolation or a pass here. Just because our opponent has weapon down, and like the high priority targets to kill are like the Defias, Cannoneer, and such. And now if one of those comes down this turn, we don't have a good answer for it.
Yeah, I think I don't know. So you mean like you wanted to like if he did go on board here, you wanted to hold off on the skull turn?
I mean,
Because I think we're always playing skull here, so like
I,
having something or going for an alternative play isn't great anyways.
I also think we're always playing Skull here. I guess my thinking was just that like I didn't really feel the need to remove the Sword Eater. Like I was fine just leaving it up for a few turns and having removal available for other cards.
Okay, not the best picks off of skull here. The the performers aren't great before Kurtrus. I mean, they can be used to clear stuff off, but I don't think this is exactly what Justin really wanted.
Well, at least we get to try again next turn. Because we can just drop the I-Beam and second Skull. And not a great draw for Genji. Shiver pretty bad in this matchup because your opponent doesn't really play minions. I think probably really is hoping to hit a 1 or 2 cost pirate to get Quest Reward down this turn.
Yeah, I wonder what Justin goes for here. Does he try to Felgorger to get a Fel spell?
I'm going I-Beam Skull Prey. Like we're
You do
dead to
go up to,
Smite.
I think, yeah, Mr. Smite is what kills you. So there's 8. You're also dead to second Defias, or you're also dead to Defias Cannoneer.
We're
If you
dead
don't,
to like most burn, but I feel like if we're not playing Skull this turn, we're never winning.
you could also play Talented then I-Beam to give yourself 3 extra health.
Yeah, it seems like Justin disagrees with me. He's opting for expendable performance to just clear off this board.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
does
we're
make it
playing.
a bit awkward for Genji to play the Rikara.
Well, it's a good thing he went with this line because we would have been dead to Smite if we went with my stupid line.
Yeah. I mean, he still could have gone for the Arcanist before the I-Beam, and then he would have been out of range of a lot of stuff. Not sure what Genji's considering here. I guess he's gonna play Shiver on something.
Trying to think if
Is he? I guess he's considering the second Shiver here, which is kind of interesting.
yeah, I don't know necessarily know why we played the Shiver there because we're not. I don't think we're ever dead to like Kurt plus Spellfire, and even if we potentially are, there's still like 2 rushers that come along with it.
So yeah, Jace is definitely a consideration here. There's 2 Chaos Leeches in the pool. Along with an I-Beam, an Immolation Aura, and a Fury. It's definitely not a bad pull.
Just considering second Felgorger, I think the issue is like we kind of want. Okay, that gives us a very very clean clear because like we need to clear the Rokara, but if we had to use Immo Aura, then we have to tank the cannon shots.
Yeah, no,
That's like
this makes it
very not ideal.
a lot easier.
So Jace has 11.
Oh my god, he's dead.
He's dead. Sad.
Yeah, and the warrior
Yeah.
takes down the demon hunter in game 1 here.
Yeah, hard to play around Gorehal plus Smite. Oh well. I don't think there's like a different line where Justin isn't dead there, so I don't have any issues with the place he went for.
I mean, he probably was. I think he was alive if he played Jace, but it wasn't. You know, it wasn't really an impressive Jace or anything. Because he would have healed for. Does Jace remember if you play outcasted cards or not? Like
I
for
don't believe
Chaos
so.
Leech?
I'm like fairly certain it does not.
Okay, so he would have healed for 9 then.
Yes, yeah. I was trying to remember, like, oh yeah, we did play 2 Chaos Leeches.
But I mean, I think you're like not dead there most of the time, so I don't think there was. I don't think he really was wrong for not playing around it.
I don't think you ever like play around Gorehal Smite. So now we're gonna see. It looks like some kind of beast druid running Pathmaker from Justin, which is an interesting tech choice.
Yeah, this is an interesting card choice that I've seen a bit lately. You usually run Power of the Wild and Capture Cold Tooth Mine with it. Those are generally the choose one cards you play with it.
Okay, but studies on 1, kennels on 2 seems kind of popping.
Yeah, I mean, for Beast Druid, that's kind of the dream curve. Get kennels into.
Into Heart of the Wild?
Yeah, I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
I mean, it's either Power or Heart of the Wild here, right? It's never Amulet.
I feel like it's Power of the Wild because that's a card you already play in your deck.
Okay,
I mean, so I guess by that logic, it's better.
Beast synergy.
So true. I mean, Power of the Wild does summon a beast if you want it to.
Okay. Yo, we can play kennels on 3 now. No kidding.
Sad.
Sad.
If only you could play two of those together.
Well, we had a really good start, but like the hand is sort of starting to wind down for Justin. I feel.
Yeah,
like
the last 2 top decks have been pretty mediocre for him. I mean, the Kennels is literally the worst card he could have gotten.
Yeah, but even now we're not in a horrible spot because we can play either a Matriarch or an Owl next turn.
Yeah, he's very close to having like just a huge Power of the Wild pop off. I'm thinking it. I think, yeah, here you could maybe just go for Umbral Owl, trade one off, and then leave the other Cub Stealth.
Yeah, it's really awkward.
I think you want to be.
It's such a bad trade. Like, I feel like you don't want to do that.
No, everything definitely feels really bad here. I think maybe you want to. I think you'd rather be saving the Matriarch because based on the hand, it's a lot easier to discount. So it's easier to combo with Oracle of Elune if you end up drawing it.
Does go for the owl. Owl end turn. Interesting.
We're gonna need more gunpowder.
Yeah, I think he's
Cannoneer plus
banking on.
Shiver.
Yeah, this is. I mean, this is definitely the punish here for not trading with the Cubs. That you're gonna lose it, probably at least one here, most likely two, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, now how do you kill this Cannoneer?
Well, we have second owl if we want. But that still doesn't let us kill it. So for Genji, we can go, man the cannons, play the weapon, then fog sail the 4/5. And then trade into the 3/1 and let the cannon shots go where they go.
Yeah, this is a pretty clean removal turn.
Yeah, this
Wow, this
awesome.
Pathmaker
We
is
can give our
terrible.
peasant +1/+1.
Yeah, this Pathmaker inclusion not great from behind.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you just play the two minions, but yeah.
Yeah, that Defias Cannoneer, good card. And
Yeah, who'd have thought?
Beast Druid when it draws poorly, not great.
Yeah, it was a great first couple of turns for Justin there, but I don't know, just not really getting any of his synergies together from his next few draws.
Yeah, not able to get any of the explosive turns. It's about like if we had maybe an Oracle there, we were able to like double up the Owl and Matriarch, that would have been awesome. But instead now we're forced to play Poison Rogue into Quest Warrior, which is not a great spot to be in.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's do or die here for Justin, and he's in an unfavorable matchup, but I mean, Poison Rogue definitely can get there against Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Job's done.
And I think sort of worth noting with the Maestro rules, you usually know whether or not it's Poison Rogue before the game actually starts. You know, it used to be you would have to play the guessing game in the mulligan, whether it was Garrote or Poison, but because Genji knows there's no Maestro in this deck, you can make sort of a reasonable inference that it's probably Poison Rogue.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, in general, you see a rogue anyways, you're like, oh, well, I'm not gonna assume that it's the 1 in 10 that it's actually Maestra. So you
Yeah.
probably assume that it's Poison Rogue anyways.
Mhm.
I wonder if we'll see the extortion here.
Maybe we'll prep Swindle. I feel like
Yeah,
you have to save Extortion for Defias Cannoneer.
if only there was a rogue card in Standard that drew a weapon. Unfortunately, Swindle kind of draws anything that's not a weapon in this deck.
Job's done.
Yeah. If only we could play Raiding Party.
Yep. Or whatever that card from Kobolds and Catacombs is.
I think it's Kobold Shiny Finder.
Oh,
Something like
yeah.
that. What if we just gave Rogues Corsair cash?
Yeah, I'm sure everyone would love that.
Turn 2 Corsair Cash, turn 3 Shank.
Dude, someone's got to tell the devs about this. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, still no weapon for Justin here. And like I think against Warrior you kinda need to get an early Shank online,
Yeah.
and it's just really not happening for him. Oh look, a weapon. Wrong one, unfortunately.
Well, at least we have double cloak, so it's still winnable.
Yeah, I would say like you maybe I don't know to have any shot at winning. If you don't have your weapon online, you maybe need to have a cloak left for after scabs.
I don't know. Cloak scabs is still pretty dang good.
It's definitely solid, but I don't know if you can really get there in just a turn.
I think if we're able to like trade into a Shank this turn and then next turn play cloak plus Shank, or we could also extort this 3/3 and we probably don't have to cloak this turn. But of course then we're not trading it. So
Oh, this is such a tough decision. Do you
rip
cloak
the
here?
passage or do you cloak?
Ah, this is tough. I mean,
There's 18 on board essentially, because if your opponent has a single pirate, you take 4, and I would assume Pirate Warrior has a single pirate. So we really need to hit extortion for this cannoneer if we don't want to be dead here. I
okay.
guess Wicked Stab also works.
Yeah, you can trade first. Maybe get the discount on the stab.
If we get the discount on the stab, then we can also trade Viper.
Okay.
Oh, we have a discounted
We have
secret
second passage now. That's good.
Yeah. So next turn is probably going to be Cloak and then 0 mana passage. Try and find a Shank.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely doable.
Because I believe we're live at 1.
Yeah. Oh, and this is so close. So, yeah, Genji will just win the game here if he hits second Cannoneer at any point now.
Well, not if Justin is cloaked, because there's nothing for him to attack.
Oh, there's nothing to attack into, right?
Yeah, I think we have to just go cloak passage and just pray that we hit a Shank.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know if we can afford to trade
Whoa.
Cutlass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're way more likely to. I mean, we need to hit Shank at some point, right?
Yeah, I think we're more likely to hit it if we cloak passage and
I think
trading.
his idea here is to hold it this turn. Was that I think that might have been a misclick, or not.
We're gonna make a big Cutlass.
Yeah, I think he's
we
gonna.
make a 7 attack Cutlass. We hit our opponent. Our opponent's down to 14. We have double Sinister Strike, so we just need 8 damage. Maybe win a ball.
Yeah. So I guess this passage is to look for scabs instead now, I guess.
But of course, we look for scabs, then we can't play cloak. So we really need to hit scabs, and we're also dead to smite anyways, even if we do hit scabs.
Yeah, I don't really see how Justin can get there at this point. It seems a little doomed.
We play Garrote, we play Paralytic, we hit face, we play Cloak. Our opponent's at 13. We have 6 next turn with the Sinister Strikes, and then we passage and pray.
And yeah, we get Guild Trader off the top, play Sinister Strikes, passage,
Into like a bleed.
and then hit a bleed, and then our opponent has also not pressed the armor up button.
Yes. In theory, it's winnable.
It's like really have to do a bit of mental gymnastics to get there, but I mean, there is a line, and I think Justin's done a good job of seeing it.
Okay, yeah, saving the weapon swing makes sense, because just in case we hit cutting class, it gives us more outs next turn.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, I know if I'm the warrior here on ladder, my opponent hits it every time.
True, that happens to me too, for sure.
They passage, they spend like a minute of animations just trading cutlasses back and forth, and then they kill you.
Speaking of,
Speaking of, do we trade the cutlass or do we rip the passage?
I think we trade the cutlass first because we want to get the cutlass back off of passage, right?
I don't know, because I don't know if we want to play the Garrote this turn. I think we might just want to rip the passage. Okay, wait, so we play both of those and then we passage.
Yeah, I think so. So this brings him down to 11.
Yeah, I think Justin needs to go faster here because the passage and the Garrote animations take a while, so we're very prone to roping out, even if we don't
It's
go
definitely
faster.
it's definitely a tough turn to calculate all what you need to
Rope's
do.
already
But
appearing. We need to hit 3 damage.
he gets the cutting class.
There's cutting class. There's a bleed.
He hit
There's
both
a second bleed.
Oh my god.
We hit.
And looks like he got the attack off too, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, as said, the rogue gets there every time. You can see Justin very relieved.
Wow, I mean,
The swig of water.
very, very well played there by Justin.
Yeah. That was a tight game.
And yeah, we even kind of tunnel visioned on finding Swine Tusk Shank, kind of in the mid game there. But I think Justin was definitely absolutely correct in just going for basically what he had in hand and kind of loading up all the poisons on that Blackwater Cutlass.
Yeah, I think very well calculated by Justin. And now he's just got to do it 2 more times.
It looks like we have the Quest Shaman versus the Poison Rogue. I think this is definitely pretty good for the Poison Rogue, right? You have some taunts, but I also don't think you're very fast. So you can, like, the Rogue can always just, go for a Guild Trader with Garrotes and Sinister Strike lethal.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Rogue favored, but I don't know if it's super heavily favored.
Yeah, I mean, my Quest Shaman opponents always get, like, double Novice Zapper and just burn me down instantly. But I think in general, the matchup is a bit better for the Rogue.
Do we trade the Cutlass or do we start with Prep Swindle?
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. I think maybe I would have started with Prep Swindle because it's a bit of a waste if the Swindle gets discounted.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if we'll see Prep Swindle here.
I think if he plays it here, then he probably should have played it first.
Yes.
Would you repeat that?
Note taker on 2.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's probably better than buttoning, and it lets us just go Serpent Shrine into Serpent Shrine.
I think it's a good play. Yeah. Not actually a good answer in hand for Justin, aside from prep Wicked Stab Hero Power. But I also
I don't
don't think you
we're
need to
ever
worry about
killing
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to just prep Swindle, trade, and then maybe even throw out a Sinister Strike for 1 mana, although probably not. But
I think Justin may have disconnected. Oh, never mind.
no.
He is gonna prep Wicked Stab,
Interesting.
which I do find kind of interesting. Yeah, I think he's maybe worried about a Feral Spirit.
That's fair. But
Yeah,
I
maybe
imagine,
maybe that's what he was kind of edging towards.
And the Serpent Shrine does hit a taunt.
Yeah, pretty well statted minion. I mean, it does just die to the extortion, but that's probably above average for a 3-drop.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's no Archspore Meshiffin.
True. Well, he does have the passage next turn to look for a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Man, this no Shank Rogue deck. I'm not quite sure if I agree with Justin's decision to cut the Shanks from his Poison Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, that is a downside to people having cut the one-of copy of Self-Sharpening Sword. Sorry, that's a bit tough to say, but yeah, going down to 2 weapons instead of 3. I think it is correct, but you can see how it can kind of hurt your early game sometimes.
Yeah, like look at this passage. Oh no.
I mean,
so
it's
bad.
hard to imagine a worse passage than this. This is absolutely brutal from Justin.
Maybe if this Deadly Poison was a paralytic instead, and we couldn't even kill the 4/3, I guess that would be worse.
Yeah, I think that would be worse.
Do we just Deadly Poison, kill the 4/3, play a Garrote? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so sad. I mean, Genji's not, aside from Justin being a little bit low on health, there's not too much pressure mounting right now. He's only played a nature spell, so this multicaster will only draw 1 right now.
I will say, after watching the last game, I'm not counting this rogue out until Justin's dead.
No,
until
I mean,
I see
rogue,
that portrait explode.
I mean, this is a scabs deck, so there's always that, and yeah, I mean, Poison Rogue especially is a deck that can really just pull wins out of nowhere.
This just another Sinister Strike Swindle turn.
And you got to be a little bit worried about dying now. You're already so low on health. Yeah, he's gonna play the Paralytic to clear this off with the Silver Leaf.
Either Silver Leaf, just 2 mana, draw 2. How do you feel about Tiny Toy?
Is there ever a chance at lethal here through guidance?
I think if we hit like, I don't think so. Maybe like Overdraft Lightning Bloom, would that have done it? I don't know.
I was thinking about that, and I think that's still 2 off. So, yeah, if there's no lethal out, then I definitely like the Tiny Toys then. And we do see the Swine Tusk Shank here.
Yeah. As we were saying, though, we're kind of low on health. It might be a Shank Cloak turn.
Yeah.
then we're really just praying to hit something good next turn.
Yeah, I'm not even. I mean, I guess next turn we get Deadly Poison, and then we can play Poison Cutting Class into Second Cloak, and then into Scabs,
Yeah.
or just Scabs off the top next turn. That would also be kind of cool.
That sounds like the kind of stuff Poison Rogue does. Oh no, the revolve for these tiny poison minions? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just looking for maybe something else to throw into the Revolve pool there. Mini Mage seems like a decent hedge, but the Zapper will give you that quest progression.
And Zapper's also like probably the best card of those options. But yeah, I assume we're just ripping the revolve here to get some full statted 5 drops.
Those are pretty good.
1/8 taunt. Oh,
Oh, there's the Scabs.
there's the scabs.
Okay, that's step one.
Step 1, scab swindle. Seems good.
Oh yeah, we can play the Swindle this turn too. Okay. Okay, we can get there.
Winnable.
This will
Oh,
give Genji a nice quest progression though. He can play the Perpetual Flame and the Zapper, and maybe I don't know, play the Taunt.
My hand is too full.
Yeah, and that will get a 3/3 taunt. So if we play both the Zapper and our 5 mana taunt, it's going to be hard for Justin to connect this weapon face.
Yeah, the only piece of removal left is this one of SI7 Extortion.
But also, I don't know if the rogue needs to connect damage face with weapon anymore, because we have Guild Trader and such. We can just go for burn outs.
Oh my god, he gets the Cargo Guard.
Huge. Justin also knows that there's another Serpent Shrine in hand, but doesn't know about the second Serpent Shrine.
Yeah, I think I like trading weapon here first. Picks up the Paralytic Poison, which is solid.
Yeah.
You can Hero Power Cutting Class if you want to. But maybe he's saving the Cutting Class for the Guild Trader turn.
It's like considering Passage, which we pretty much, it's another situation of like hit cloak or bust.
Oh, I think he meant to
I'm
trade
guessing
that.
we meant to trade that.
Was that
Yeah, I know Justin did hurt his hands a bit lately. I think he was telling me he fell on his wood stove and he messed up his hands a bit from that because it was quite hot. So I mean, unironically, I think that might be playing into it a little bit.
And I believe, yeah, we got the extortion off on the 3/2, so he isn't dead to this double Serpent Shrine. And also, opponent doesn't
yeah,
have mana
he
to play it.
doesn't have the mana, right?
Mhm.
So he is safe here.
Yeah,
And well, now, right, he can look for Cloak again next turn and then set up the lethal. But his damage is a lot lower now if he does end up drawing the bleeds this turn. But I guess you could just go for Guild Trader this turn.
yeah, because we still have bleeds in deck from the Garrote we played earlier.
I think
So
if you get Deadly Poison off the top, it makes the Guild Trader a lot easier.
mhm. And it's also dependent on what Genji plays here. I think if Genji doesn't play this taunt, it's a lot easier to try and go in with Guild Trader because you also have that weapon swing phase. drawing the bleed.
That's pretty
Not
unfair.
what we want to see. We have to trade the Cutlass here. Yeah, this might be forced to dig for Cloak this turn. Because we don't have any Wicked Stabs left, right? It's just Sinister Strike.
Yeah, it
Plus
looks like there's no Wicked Stab left. Yeah, I
That's
don't
only
really.
17 damage total with Guild Trader. My math's correct.
Yeah, I don't
But,
really see how he gets there anymore.
we need like Cloak and Deadly Poison here so that we can both kill this taunt and survive to next turn. Because we need to be able to also connect a weapon swing phase.
Hear that sizzle?
There's the Cloak.
Okay. I mean, if Genji for some reason does not play Feral Spirit, I guess we can get there.
I don't think we can. Because there's still the taunt in the way.
Oh, right. Oh, he didn't swing in. Oh, right, because he only had 3 attack. For some reason, I thought he hit the Deadly Poison. But, yeah, I was
think
just
you needed to
kind of
trade the
looking
Guild
ahead.
Trader there to try and hit the Deadly Poison.
Yeah, it is such a tough spot to be in when you've already used so much of your removal.
What's going on? That is my...
Well,
We have to try for it, although I don't think there's any way for us to get there. We might as well go
yeah,
for it.
I'm only seeing what 21 damage.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the Deadly Poison. There's the second Shank.
Bottom 4 Shank.
So, Justin is technically not dead on board, and he doesn't know that there's a Serpent Shrine in
I
hand.
see you are a seasoned
Yeah, and that's going to be the series. Genji's going to take it 3-1 over Always Just in Time.
Yeah, I think definitely not quite how I was expecting it to play out. I mean, I think for Justin, losing the Druid into the Warrior really, really hurt his chances.
Yeah, that made it way tougher. Although, I think for Justin, he was expecting the Poison Rogue to be his counter to the Shaman anyways. So I think that matchup would have come up. Well, I think that matchup would have come up anyways, and I mean, we might still have seen the same result.
Yeah, I guess like thinking back on that Rogue game, it might have been a mistake to play the Garrote that turn we passaged into it. Because I think sort of seeing ahead that there was the potential for like the feral spirits and such to block weapon, we might have needed to save that Garrote to go for a Guild Trader combo to finish things off. But yeah, definitely some unfortunate draws with the Rogue there for Justin as well. And I believe we're getting Genji in for an interview here.
We are. Hey, Genji, congrats on the win tonight. If you could
Hello.
Hey.
How?
You're all mic'd up now.
Yes.
Congrats on the win, and I believe this puts your team, is it 13-7, which means you
Yeah,
guys
I think
have
we're
now won the week.
It's unlosable, right?
Yeah, because even
Nice.
if Diamond sweeps, then it's just a 13-11.
Okay, good to know. Took it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel going into this? I know we were
Uh,
talking beforehand that your classes didn't line up great, but
yeah, like I looked at the matchup spread and I was like, God damn, this is so bad. It looks so bad. But somehow, I did not expect Warrior to win a game at all, actually. But somehow it took two, and yeah, and from then on, just against Garrote Rogue, which is stupidly overpowered. Please delete the deck. Uh, like the Warrior game, God, that actually hurt me. That hurt me.
are you telling me that cloak into scabs is an unhealthy play pattern? Who would have thought?
Yeah, but I think I did make one misplay that game. I should have left a spot open on the board for a Viper because I teched a Viper in my Warrior, so I should have left the spot open.
Okay, yeah, we didn't get to see the Viper in that game, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely could have made a big difference there against that weapon that he buffed up a lot at the end, the Spectral Cutlass. How,
Yeah.
so how did you feel about the Warrior going into your prep this week? Do you feel like Warrior is in a good spot, or do you feel like it's a little weaker? Because it did seem very effective here, but I don't know. I think before this match, I felt like the Warrior might have had a bit of a tough time.
Yeah. So I think the good thing about Warrior, especially in LHS, is that it's very good sweep potential. Because if you just draw well, like I did in both the games, you can just like win out the game like that, especially in tempo matchups. So that's the good thing about Warrior in LHS. But in Conquest, I'm not sure because you can get targeted quite easily.
Yeah, you do have to worry about decks sweeping your lineups in LHS, especially
Yeah.
in Hero where it is. I mean, not against Warrior usually, but against certain classes, it's such a toss-up as to which archetype they're going to bring.
hmm
But it seems like you prepared your lineup well. Do
Yeah.
you feel like the Quest Shaman is that something you've been running a lot? And like, how do you think that compares to the other Shaman archetypes right now?
I think Shaman is probably like the best. Shaman, I'm pretty sure Quest Shaman is probably the best Shaman because it goes well into the mirror because you can burn them. They just can't freeze your board. You just burn them down. And it's good to get into aggro, especially if you have like Canal Slogger and stuff. And it's very versatile, and that's why I bought Shaman. Because like LHS is all about sweeping, and a versatile deck is good at sweeping. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing a bit of Quest Shaman recently as well, and I think I definitely agree that the deck is just super versatile in what it's able to do, and that helps it a lot. Because like against aggro, you can play that control game plan with things like Perpetual Flame, but then if you're against slower decks, you just go for a burn game plan. You can draw a lot with the new multicaster package.
Yeah. It's quite a good deck.
Yeah, so this puts you at 3-0 on your Hero season and gives your team the win for the week. How have you
Mm.
felt about the season so far and playing in Hero?
It's been a pretty fun experience. I've been doing pretty well. Hopefully, I can continue this streak, into next week. Hopefully, I can be on stream more as well. It's quite fun. And yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah, I always love to have people coming on stream and showcasing their own gameplay.
Mm.
Always gives us great content.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks for coming on playing.
Well, all right. Well, you have yourself a great night, Genji, and I'm sure I'll hit you in the DMs there to see if we can set up another match. So
Yes, sir.
take care, man. Have a great day.
Take care. Take care.
Wow, busy night. one match, but that's fine. But anybody that's interested in playing, we do have Sunday Showdown. Still looking for a match for I think it's the 8 o'clock spot. We do have a.
I have an 8 p.m. match for Sunday Showdown.
Oh yeah, okay.
Interesting.
Who are you battling?
Yeah. I'm playing against Izzet in Legacy. I
Okay.
believe I put it in the request for stream matches channel.
Yeah, okay. Then we will, if they're game, then certainly it'd be Myanodon myself casting. Dollar Bills would normally join Myanodon at the time, but he's currently away, so doing work. But yeah, so we got 2 matches tomorrow. Also, there's Sunday Schoolstone too that's available too between the hours of 2 p.m. I believe and 4 p.m. So if anybody's got matches during that time, just hit up Lotus Knight or Mr. Fish, or Dr. Fish, I should say, and yeah, go from there. But I want to thank Nice Jew Shao and Super Chicken for casting tonight. You did a fantastic job. I also want to thank AGT and Genji for jumping on stream. So any final notes for the evening before we let everybody go?
Thanks for watching the stream, everyone out there in chat. And thanks to the players for playing on stream. Thanks to Saku for being an awesome stream op. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I think just some great games that we got to cast, and I mean I think even if you've never been on stream or you're nervous about it, I think it's still a great thing to do. People get to see who you are as a player and get to see your gameplay, and I think it's really cool in that sense because there's lots of people in THL that I've heard of, and I've heard that they're great players, but I never really get to see them play. So I love to see lots of people who don't normally play on stream come on and kind of show what they've got, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, we always enjoy new players. I know we do have quite a few regulars on here as well, but new players are definitely welcome. And you know where it leads? Where these 2 gentlemen are tonight, where we get Nice Jewish Out casting as well as Super Chicken, who frequent streams so much that they get into casting.
So true.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that closes us out for tonight. Thanks for joining us, and everybody be safe out there. And we will see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Take care.